We all had this similar reaction, right? They actually did it. Oh my gosh. And then the words remake came up, and I was like, okay, this isn't just an HD remaster, this is a remake. They're remaking the game, which is exactly what people have been clamoring for so long. Has anyone really taken a moment to consider what they're actually asking for? What asking for a remake really means, right? So I got to thinking about a lot of what that implies. And so this video is mostly about my reactions. Isn't mostly about my reactions to the game, it's mostly about its future for this game. First off, I think a lot of people have had a lot of unrealistic expectations that Square is just going to take FF7, redo the graphics, and send it out on the next gen console. The end. I don't think it works like that. I don't think it can work like that. I think there's a lot more that there's to consider when it comes to a remake. So, I'm going to quickly go over 3 points about what a remake implies. First off, what the crybabies want, some of what I want to see, and some of what we will more than likely see. So, real quick on the crybabies, I feel like they want to see FF7 done exactly like it was, but pretty much just in higher res graphics. They want nothing changed. They want to be able to live the exact same experience, but with the convenience of playing it on a new console. So basically an HD re-release, but unfortunately you can't do that because the graphics did not age well, and I mean that's a whole other debate on presentation of how that was delivered, but another time. So my thoughts to people who have this expectation: just play the original FF7. Maybe the HD release that they're doing for PC that was mentioned a while back is the one maybe you should focus on. You will never have this expectation met when it comes to this copy and paste philosophy you might have. It's simply unrealistic. I don't think this group of people realizes what they're asking for, and most likely will be unhappy with what's released no matter what when it comes to this remake. So yeah. Anyway, on to what I want to see. I would love to see the game done in an art style much like I don't want to say it's quite like anime, but as long as it's a style that represents the atmosphere we felt when playing the game. If they adhere to that, then I think something less like Advent Children, less like Crisis Core, maybe somewhere in between. So I'm thinking in that regard, they should have used a model that echoes that. And, well, I don't think we're going to get that, of course, but that's what I would have liked to have seen. Maybe, I guess it's irrelevant to talk about at this point. Anyway, music is something we don't know about, other than what we heard in the trailer, which is, trailer music or opening music, which is always orchestral in a way. But I want it to be damn near close. And if it's new, please make sure it conveys the atmosphere that it used to. I need to hear the Midgar music sounding just as it sounded when I played it. I know that sounds a little hypocritical as I just spoke about the Crybaby issue, but like those steam valves and the electronic notes and like it sounds like they're in like an industrial background noises and the music was perfect. Please, if you do make new music, make sure to include those aspects. I really don't want those aspects to go away. I think they were huge at conveying the atmosphere of Midgar, and I think the atmosphere of Midgar is very important to a lot of people. If the graphics and music change, I'm okay with updated tracks as long as the intended atmosphere, of course, is familiar. For instance, in Smash 4, Ryu's Edition recently, he came with a stage, and they brought on Yoko Shimomura, who originally composed the Street Fighter II soundtrack. Yes, Guile's theme even was done by her, to come back and do his arranged theme from that stage for Smash 4, and it sounds awesome. It sounds perfect. It sounds updated and relevant, but it still sounds just like it did back then. It still has that spirit, but with a little more necessary updates, and it fits. And that's the kind of thing that I would love to see them do with 7, because the tracks are great, but if they're going to make a new bustling, updated atmosphere, then they need to update the music as well. But they don't have to lose that aspect. Get the composer Masashi Hamazawa, or however you say his last name. I probably butchered it, forgive me. From 10 and 13, excellent at doing that fuse of that style of music. Bring him on to do the arrangements. That would be... Yes, I would love that. Anyway, the big thing is Midgar. So special to me, and I'm sure to a lot of people that act of the game was just excellent. So whether you acknowledge the power of this game's soundtrack or not, you realize that something will be off if they mess with the music in this part. So advocate for the music, real big deal. Yeah, you know, as for making new music for classic areas, I think this would be the same issue. You know, like, while I acknowledge anything is possible because they're remaking this game, this is what I'm most afraid of, is losing the originality of atmosphere. But I wonder how much are they going to change this atmosphere. So something else that I would like to see would be the world map removed. Yes, I believe that this game element doesn't really work anymore, especially when it comes to a more realistic presented game. On to what we'll probably get. I could ramble on and on about what I want to see, but that will take forever. This one is probably the more important topic. More than likely, they'll use the Final Fantasy 15 engine to make this game realistic, along the lines of Advent Children, Crisis Core, Dirge of Cerberus. You know, they have a big realism factor going there, because the style has already been established. It's safe to assume that this is the style that we'll see. Again, the music, more than likely, this will have adjustments to it. Let's just hope the music works, you know, for the atmosphere. I'm optimistic about it, but I'm just anxious about it at the same time, because music from Final Fantasy VII was just, it was very great, very memorable for many reasons, and I'm sure you realize or don't realize how much it is, but for those of you who do, we can all agree that 7th soundtrack was very special to a lot of us, so keeping the music the same is a big deal for a lot of people. Story. This is probably the biggest thing that I wanted to cover. I wanted to touch on this because I don't think it's something a lot of people realize, that the word remake implies just that, a remake. It could be anything new. Recent comment from my good friend Joey Cannoli reads, "Why not just play Final Fantasy VII? You have this great game already." Well, because I believe wholeheartedly that they're remaking this game from the ground up. But it's going to be a new reality of Final Fantasy VII. A new retelling of this story, of this world, thus a new game to play. So it's not I'm just playing the HD re-released on another system, it's a new game. It's a new incarnation of this universe's game, of the chapter where the things in Final Fantasy VII took place. And, you know, it'll include, of course, the classic parts, as we have confirmed from Nomura today, that it's going to feature the cross-dressing scene, and to look forward to that, and a lot of the other fun quirks about the game. I'm assuming Honeybee Inn. I think one of us, my friends, mentioned Barrett in the sailor outfit. All the Minigames, Gold Saucer. There's just a lot of little things that I think are special, that I think they're still going to adhere to, because I think for us, as well as the development team, it's just as much of a special game for Square-Enix and those who are involved, who are still with Square, as it is to everyone else who enjoyed the game. So I think they care about it very much, and they want to make it, I mean, it's like, would you say it's their magnum opus? Did I use that word right? Hopefully. It's just, they're serious, and I know they're going to take it to heart. More than likely, this game will include references to the post-FF7 universe in an attempt to match this up to the whole compilation of Final Fantasy VII that came out after 7, which includes Crisis Core, Before Crisis, Advent Children, Dirge of Cerberus. That whole echelon of games, whatever, will probably be more worked into the plot of this remake, so that it all fits into a much more cohesive piece, so that the universe all connects, and there's now really the bad. We get Final Fantasy VII in an atmosphere closer to the compilation sequels, instead of our beloved bittersweet atmosphere that started it all. And in its uniqueness, in addition to our imagination filling the blanks, which made the game so sweet, will be lost to the created universe a la Advent Children. The translations. You can guarantee that the name will be spelled Aerith, Aerith this time. The correct scale and atmosphere this time around. This is a big thing. Like, they've definitely nailed Midgard's size. Like, I always thought Midgard was huge. It's supposed to be huge. It looks huge now in that video. It just... I cannot wait to run around in this updated Midgard. You have no idea. Probably my most excited anticipation here. Not to mention the amazing new quality on cutscenes. We're gonna see all this stuff redone. Imagine the weapons done in today's CG quality. Oh my gosh. How is the weapons emerging from FF7 not the coolest shit in that game? I cannot wait to see that again. And just all the little bits of animation are just going to be excellent. Maybe they'll extend them, maybe they'll make new ones, new animations for new parts. Oh, Yuffie and Vincent could not be secret characters. They could be worked in as official plot devices. Oh, gosh, there's so many potential possibilities of where they can take this, because it's being remade, and they're going to be like, let's deliver 7 in a way that works better. Blah, blah, you know, who knows. Seeing Red, what's he going to look like in HD? That's going to be amazing. Well, I guess he'll look like Evan Children, but better. I don't know. Anyway, new gameplay elements, new materia, new summons, new anything is possible, you know? Oh, menu options and customization things. Like in Final Fantasy X, for example, you can turn your Aeon animations to short, where it'll always play, for the first time you summon, it'll play the full animation, but then every time after that, it'll just do like the last hit of the explosion and then all the damage, so that you're not waiting there for 5 minutes after every summon. Okay, this battle's taking forever. I'm trying to summon and go. So, you can turn it on to short. 9 had the same thing, and I would love this effect for 7, because Knights of the Round takes a long time, and don't get me wrong, I still want to see that, but it's just... I don't like using summons when they take so long. Like in 8, I don't use that. I set my menu command to attack, draw, item, magic, or whatever. No GF. There's no point in using GFs in 8, in my opinion. 7 GFs or summons were really strong, but they took forever to watch, and I would love a truncation option for the animation sequence. So, that concludes my thoughts on FF7 Remake for now. If you want to keep this discussion going, or you have any ideas of what might show up, chat me up in the comments, video reply if you're feeling ambitious, and whether or not you are on board with this remake or not, and are a Final Fantasy fan, well, let me just remind you that there ain't no getting off of this train. We on. I hope you enjoyed these thoughts of mine. Bye for now.